And then, so on COVID policy, it seems like the administration is starting to soften some of the language. There's this new op-ed where you talk about COVID and we are going to beat it back. Are you no longer going to shut it down?
No, we got to beat it back before we shut it down. Look, this is going to take time worldwide. In order to beat COVID, we have to shut it down worldwide. A couple of your stations you found some empty shelves. They're old empty shelves, but it doesn't matter. But go back and take a look at some of those shelves again, okay? At this point in the year, we're looking at the sharpest one-year decline in unemployment ever. Simply put, America's back to work, and our jobs recovery is going very strong.
But then this disappointment in November that it's not the job problem, it's the worker problem. Workers aren't going back to those customer-facing jobs.
Today's historic drop in unemployment rate includes dramatic improvements for workers who have often seen higher wages and higher levels of unemployment. They are receiving higher wages. Wages are up, especially for hardworking Americans, often ignored in the past, in past recoveries. Tax cuts and raising wages for middle-class families mean that Americans, on average, have more in their pockets today than they did each month since we've been in office, than they did last year after accounting for inflation. Let me repeat that. Even after accounting for rising prices, the typical American family has more money in their pockets than they did last year.
Well, what if Trump were in office right now and pushing vaccinations?
But please tell me.
Would we be in a much better place? I think so, actually.
Once again, no one making less than $400,000 a year will pay a penny more in federal taxes. My Build Back Better plan is fiscally responsible. It's the first major piece of legislation in more than a decade that's not only fully paid for, but will generate more than $100 billion in deficit reduction this decade.
Your voice sounds a little different. Are you okay?
I'm okay. I have a test every day to see a COVID test. They check me for all the strands. What I have is a 1.5-year-old grandson who had a cold who likes to kiss his pop. And he'd been kissing anyway, but it's just a cold. He's signing a bill. Since the end of October, the average weekly price of gasoline in partnership with with private business and labor, retailers, the two busiest ports in America, to meet consumer demand for the holidays. Now, I said that yesterday, and then I saw we need to cut costs to take care of. Today's news means that unemployment rate has now fallen by more than 2 percentage points since I took office. That's the fastest decline in a single year on record. And it's about 3 times faster than any other president in their first year in office. 17 Nobel Prize winners in economics have written a letter to me affirming that this bill would reduce long-term inflationary pressures in the economy. And 2 of the leading rating agencies, not liberal think tanks, 2 of the leading rating agencies on Wall Street confirmed this month that my plan will not add to inflationary pressures.
Mr. President,
That's one of the reasons why. I know I get criticized for not doing more for the world. But we've done more for the world in providing vaccines available and help than any nation, every other nation in the world combined. In addition to that, we've also, with regard to India and other countries, and we're working around the clock. Remember, I suggested we suspend the patents.